Hey guys, how you doing tonight? This is Bear with Bear's Den Acrylic Art, back with another painting video. So, I have a 20 by 20 by 3/4 inch canvas in front of me that for the life of me I have been trying to get a successful pour on this and had to scrape it twice last night, and then I just got frustrated and just smoothed everything out, let it dry, and we are going to regroup and see if we can't get a successful pour. Now this will be the final of the 20 by 20 high contrast Kiss cloud pours, because this is the last one I need to fill my 4 floating frames. So as you can probably tell by looking at the canvas and all of the beautiful drippings, I was using a lot of purples and some reds, and we ended up with this, I don't even know what you would call this color, but that's going to be our flow extender. So we're going to go from there. But tonight, and I just remembered that I never thinned this back down, so we are going to add some water. So tonight we are going to be attempting, this pour using some greens and some darker purples. Violets with a Payne's gray, and I also have a gold that I'm going to throw in just for, just for something. I feel like it's the right decision, because otherwise, purple and green can read very Joker, or very Mardi Gras if you are not careful. And that looks like it's a good consistency. Sorry, I definitely should have done that before I hit record, but this is what happens when you're me and you get distracted by shiny things. So, anyway, that's what we're going to do. Now, my consistencies. So if you have been watching, if you've been watching my previous videos, all right. Now this is Green Earth by Lucas. So this is definitely thicker than a Dutch pour, right? It leaves a little trace of a mound and then immediately recedes. All right, so that's about the consistency we're going for. All right, so let us not waste time and see if we can't, make something nice happen. So our first color going in, this is Iridescent Green Yellow by Pebeo. Followed by, this is Lime Green by Liquitex. And then we are going to hit it with some of our cloud mix, which is just 3 parts DecoArt Satin Enamel and Pure White, 2 parts US Floetrol, to 1 part Artist Loft Soft Body White, to 1 part GAC 800, to a splash of water. All right. So next, this is Dragon Flash by Folk Art, Color Shift. So it kind of has a gold shift to it, which is why I wanted to add some of this. This is Xanadu Gold by Chroma. and that'll be that. Next, we have Viridian by Golden. And then last, we have The Green Earth by Lucas. Or, you know, Terre Verte, like I like to say, depending on your tax bracket. So a little bit more cloud mix. And then we're just going to come in and top everything off. And then this cup will be complete. So that was the iridescent green yellow, the lime green, the remainder of our dragon flash, our Viridian, and then lastly, the Terre Verte. All right. That is that. I think that's a good looking assortment of greens. All right, so next, this is Black Plum by DecoArt Americana, followed by, actually we're going to switch that up, followed by Permanent Violet Dark by Golden, some cloud mix, then we have our Antique Copper by Folk Art Treasure Gold, which is great. I love that color. Then we're going to come in with what's left of our Xanadu Gold from Chroma. Next, this is Permanent Violet, or Permanent Blue Violet by Amsterdam. And then rounding it out just for something real dark, this is Payne's Gray by Liquitex, which is on the more grayer side as opposed to the Golden's Payne's Gray, which is more of a blue. All right, so more of our cloud mix. And then we come in and we top off. And then we are going to be ready to rock and roll. So that's what's left of the Antique Copper, the Permanent Blue Violet, and then our Payne's Gray. All right, so nice and dark, all right? But I wanted the gold to kind of play off both of the Dragon Flash as well as the Antique Copper. So now we put down just a little landing pad just to give our paint something to land on. All right. And then I'll just move that around a little bit. And then everything else I will use as a flow extender. All right, perfect. because I can tell just from the reflection how many air bubbles are in here. Because since I did so much scraping last night, even, 24 hours later, still got some bubbles that are working their way up. All right, my friends, now's my favorite part. Cheers. All right, that actually looks pretty good. And I like that we do have some clouds forming. So while those form, I'm going to add our flow extender. Fingers crossed, because I really really would like this to work out the first time. As I have not been able to, nail a painting the first time in a while, which is irritating, to be honest. That, and I'm almost out of Floetrol. And it's after 10, so it's not like I can go to the Lowe's that's right up the road. Alright, so upon cursory inspection, there's some really, really nice stuff happening. I like the clouds. I can already tell that there is a good bit of texture going on. So, let's get to tilting this, shall we? This is pretty interesting. I really need to decide how I feel about the piece overall, because like I said, I really don't feel like repouring again. But I like the darker purples with the green. Now, I do not have any of the gold coming through, which is a shame. And what I already see happening that I don't like, but we'll see how it plays out, is my flow extender, because it had satin enamels in it, is starting to sell up. Now, it doesn't look, terribly out of place at the moment, but we're gonna have to wait and see how this develops. So here's what's going to happen, my friends. I am going to clean up these edges. I'm going to pay some attention to the corners. And I'm going to bring you in because there's some good stuff happening. I don't know, like I said, I don't know how I feel about it overall. I'm going to give it about 10 minutes. And then that's when I'll decide whether or not I am going to scrape. But I swear to God, if I have to, I'm about ready to call for an old priest and a young priest because this canvas must be haunted. All right, so I will meet you down here in a couple minutes and we can see what this looks like from my point of view. All right, guys, I need your help. I'm really kind of torn because the more this sat and developed, the more I kind of like it. So let's talk about what I'm not so crazy about first. So, because of the fact that my flow extender had satin enamels in it, you can see where it wants to poke through and sell up. So I'm really hoping that these don't develop any further, because if they stay as is, I can live with that. That's not that bad. Now, here's what I love. All right, and this is exactly what is saving it. Just the flow of the cloud cells. This little, like, I don't know, tail, whatever you want to call it, that's probably my favorite part, okay? Sorry, I'm messing with the focus. You know, obviously this is going to dry dark, but the antique copper has a really, really nice shifty quality to it. So the metallic will come through, as will the iridescent green yellow. So this will have some texture. I don't know. What do you guys think? Like, should I keep this? Should I, well, I mean, obviously I'm not going to scrape it. I want to see what it looks like when it dries. But what are your thoughts? You know, green is like my nemesis color. So I don't know. What do you guys pair with green that, makes it look good? So that's the $1 million question. You can leave a comment and I would love that feedback. So anyway, we'll see what this looks like in a couple days when it dries. But for the most part, I'm actually not mad at this the more that I look at it. You know, I also had a snack, so that probably helped. So we'll see what it looks like when it dries. All right, guys. Well, thank you so much for joining me for this video. I don't know whether or not this one will be a keeper, but we'll see what it looks like when it dries. If you're new to my channel and you like what you see, please consider hitting that subscribe and hitting that thumbs up. That helps me out a lot. You can also hit the bell icon to be notified of when I upload new content. Also, please feel free to leave me a comment. I love getting feedback and I will respond as soon as I can. Whether or not this one is up for purchase will remain to be seen, but all of my other work is, and you can find that work on my Instagram or Facebook under Bear's Den Acrylic Art. You can see all my stuff there. You can email me directly if you have any questions or interested in a commission at bear@bearsdenacrylicart.com. So once again, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for being so giving of your time. You know I appreciate it. And I will see you back with the dry results and we'll go from there. So fingers crossed. All right, guys, look how this dried. I love this. You can see the antique copper. You can see all of the purples mixing in with the various shades of green. I like these larger boulder cells right here. Even the parts where like the base coat or like the puddle, whatever, was starting to pop through, it still works. And my favorite part, as I pull back out, is just the shape of the clouds, the boulders. I just think it is whimsical. It has a lot of movement, and I am happy to report that to my eye, despite the fact that I used purple and green, this is not giving me a whole lot of like, you know, Hulk smash. This actually looks cohesive, and I am kind of here for it. So hooray.